Okay, so you know that moment, that heart-stopping panic every plant parent dreads. You spot a mysterious hole in a perfectly good leaf, maybe another one, and your mind just starts racing. Is this an invasion? Or is it just a harmless little battle scar from its trip to my house? Well, what if I told you that that little bit of damage is actually a clue? Your plant is trying to tell you a story. So today, we're going to put on our detective hats. We're going to learn how to read those clues, solve the mystery, and figure out exactly what our green friends are trying to tell us. So in our little mystery, we've got two main suspects. On one side, we have an active pest attack, which is an ongoing problem that needs action, like right now. On the other side, we have a harmless scar from something that happened in the past. And you really want to get this right because getting it wrong can mean either stressing your plant out with chemicals it doesn't need or, way worse, losing it for good. All right, let's get into it. Clue number one is all about the pattern. See, pests don't just nibble randomly. They actually leave behind a very distinct signature, kind of like a calling card that tells you who the culprit might be. Just look at how different these signatures are. You see, pest damage, think of a caterpillar. It looks messy, right? Irregular bites, rough edges that might be turning brown. And here's the thing about pests. They're hungry. They're not just going to stop at one leaf. So if you see that same messy pattern repeating, ding, 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 that's a huge red flag. Now, compare that to just physical damage. Maybe it got bumped or scraped. That's usually a clean tear with smooth edges, and it's almost always a one-and-done kind of thing, just on a single leaf. Okay, on to our second major clue, progression. This one is all about watching the crime scene over time. Is this story still being written? Seriously, this is probably the most important question you can ask yourself. Here's what you do. Take a picture or just make a mental note of the damage right now. Then come back in a day and maybe a few days after that. Are there new holes? Are the old ones getting any bigger? If the answer is, yep, it's spreading, well, you're dealing with a living problem. It means something is actively munching on your plant as we speak. The pest is still there, and it's definitely still hungry. But, and this is the good news, if that damage stays exactly the same, day after day, you can take a deep breath. It's just a scar. The thing that caused it is long gone, the threat is over, and your plant has already moved on. It's just a little piece of its history. Okay, you've got the basics. Now let's level up. It's time for the advanced investigation. These are the subtle little clues that are going to help you crack even the trickiest cases. So first up, location. Where on the plant is the damage? If you're seeing it on the brand new, tender leaves, that's a bit suspicious. Then there's timing. You know how a leaf sometimes unfurls and it already has a hole in it? That looks super alarming, but a lot of the time, that damage actually happened way back when it was still a tiny, tightly rolled up bud. And then you've got the imposters. Some plants, like the famous Monstera, are supposed to have holes. That's not damage, that's just its style. And finally, here's the twist. Some of the absolute worst pests, I'm talking spider mites here, they don't even leave holes. They leave these tiny little dots or weird silvery patches. And that's exactly why location is so important. Pests aren't dumb. They don't want to waste their energy on those tough old leaves. Nope, they go straight for the good stuff. The fresh, tender, super nutritious new growth. So if you see damage popping up on new leaves, you gotta take that really seriously. All right, detective, it's verdict time. Let's gather up all our evidence and figure this thing out once and for all. So here's your super simple 4-step checklist. Number 1, analyze the pattern. Are we talking ragged bites or a clean tear? 2, monitor the progression. Is it spreading or staying put? 3, check the location. Is it on old leaves or is it showing up on that suspicious new growth? You answer those 3 questions and boom, you've got your verdict. Pest or scar. And this right here leads to maybe the most important piece of advice I can give you. Whatever you do, don't rush to treat. Unless you are 100% sure it's an active pest, just hold off. Spraying a bunch of chemicals can stress out a plant way more than a simple little physical scar ever could. So remember, observe first, act second. Okay, so let's completely shift our perspective for a minute. We've been so focused on damage, on what's wrong, but what's the real sign of a happy, healthy plant? It might not be what you think. I love this idea so much. Leaves don't heal. They wear their history. Think about it. Unlike our skin, a plant leaf can't just scab over and heal up. Once it's torn or bitten, that mark is there forever. It becomes part of that plant's story. So an imperfect leaf doesn't mean you have an unhealthy plant. It just means it's lived a little, you know? So Please stop obsessing over those old, battle-scarred leaves. The true sign of a thriving plant is the new growth. Are those new leaves coming in clean, vibrant, and strong? If the answer is yes, then hey, congratulations, you're already winning. So now you know how to read the history written on your plant's leaves. But that kind of brings up a really interesting question for next time, doesn't it? What if what if you could get so good at this that you could spot the signs of trouble before the pest even leaves a mark? We'll definitely be diving into that soon.